Ho, 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 and welcome to the Joking Dolphin Gaming Podcast. I'm Mark, and as always, I'm joined by Mathew.
Cole.
And Nathan.
Merry 27th of December.
As Noddy Holder famously said, it's Christmas!
He said just that.
Oh,
it was fantastic. Yeah. Honestly, I'd written this Christmas off as being a bit rubbish, but it was really good. Yeah. Ate lots of Christmas food, got lots of nice presents, lots of well wishes. So it was really nice. Yeah.
And I like your hat.
Thank you.
Your crown.
Got it from the cracker myself. Speaking of crackers, I do have a Christmas joke I'd like to share with you.
Yeah, go on then.
You ready?
I don't know. Go
on. Why did the man get fired from the orange juice factory?
I don't know.
Something to do with squeezed or squashed or something like that. Go on.
Because he couldn't concentrate. Boom.
Hey. Well, there you go. Stop the podcast. That's over. We're done.
Yep.
Okay, shall we get into news then?
Yep, let's do it.
Sure.
Right, so with it being the festive season, obviously we've got to have the gift that keeps on giving, and that's Cyberpunk.
Yay.
So now Sony is now offering refunds for the game, and they have even taken it off the PS Store.
Yeah.
Now this was odd because originally the CD Projekt Red put out a tweet saying that, oh, we're going to offer you refunds, just get in touch with PlayStation and Xbox, and they'll give you refunds, etc. And then when people actually did that, they were like being rejected. Because it turns out they actually hadn't discussed it with Sony or Microsoft beforehand.
Sounds about
offering these ones.
Those great communication skills.
Yeah. So they were just lying yet again. And then eventually Sony pulled the plug.
Yeah.
Got rid of it. And then now they are offering refunds. Microsoft is now also offering refunds, but they've not pulled it from their store. It just keeps getting bad for worse, doesn't it?
It seems like a shame because there's been so much hype over the last few years leading up to this game. And it's just all become a bit of a farce, I think. I can't remember a game quite like it that this has happened to.
I'd have to say this is the worst game launch ever now, I think we've crossed that threshold.
Are we calling it?
I think
worst game launch ever.
I know there's been other bad ones, but I can't think of anything quite like this now.
Fallout 76 springs to mind. I think at one point that got pulled as well. I think that got pulled from a store, but yeah. I
think that was probably the last big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this one's top list now.
I can remember Mass Effect Andromeda having quite a bit of a backlash, and then they're having to do some major patches on that game. But again, I don't think I've ever heard anything as bad as this one before.
Have you also heard the new technical issue that's cropped up?
Oh, a new one?
The corruption of save files.
Oh, for goodness sake.
So apparently a save file can't be over 8 megabytes.
What?
Unless they fixed it now. Yeah. So,
well, I do know they came out with version 1.6 quite recently, so that might have fixed it.
So yeah, the hotfix 1.06 fixes that, but not for current save files. So
you have to start the game again.
Corrupted. Yeah, if you start the game again, then your save file will be fine. But that's what I read anyway.
Well, it's a good job you've not played too much of it, Mark. So.
Oh yes,
you might as well get your refund while you.
So it basically in a RPG game, on the official forum on the website, like somebody was asking about this, and they just tried to fob them off by basically saying, "Oh well, just don't loot so much, and don't craft anything.
Don't play the game.
Yeah, don't play
the game how you want to play it."
It's just utter nonsense.
Yeah,
it actually made me angry reading about it. And then we've got like the actual staff developers getting angry at the management it's treated. You see about these this internal video meetings where basically all the developers start laying into management saying, "What are you doing?"
So they should do.
Yeah, it's just. But to top it off, there's a potential lawsuit coming along. What about this?
Yeah.
So investors are potentially launching a class action lawsuit. So a Warsaw attorney, who happens to be also a CDPR investor, stated that the lawsuit is in relation to the possibility of committing a crime under Article 286 of the Penal Code, which is the misrepresentation in order to obtain financial benefits. So I'm guessing
right. So this misrepresented how ready the game was, and yeah.
So that's a thing. Merry Christmas, CD Projekt Red.
That's it.
I mean,
I was just going to say, I just feel sorry for the actual developers, the people who worked at home.
Well, that's it. They've worked so hard for this, and they had to crunch near the end of it just to get it out, and now all this is happening. And it sounds like that they've told senior management that this was going to be an issue, thus the backlash that they're giving to the management team. And it sounds just like that they've not listened, and they said, right, this is the date that it's coming out, and we don't care what state it gets released in. It's a terrible state of affairs.
The Christmas monies. That's what it was, wasn't it?
Well, there ain't going to be any if everyone's asking for refunds. And it's going to tarnish people's views of the developer and the game.
Yeah, I don't know how it's... What are people going to think when they come out with a new game? Is anybody ever going to trust them or anything?
Yeah.
Well, I think they'll make sure the next game is probably made properly. Actually given time.
Yeah. I think at the very least, a lot of lessons are going to be learned from this entire process. And hopefully they'll be able to grow from it and do better in the future. But right now, it's just looking like one bad thing after another for them.
Didn't they say that after Witcher, though? When that launched in a pretty bad state, and then they had to fix all the problems with that. I mean, it wasn't quite on the level with this, but I would hope they might have learned something. Unless they had a change of management.
Well, we don't know, do we? I mean, we could be talking about this for ages. I mean, the game got delayed a lot of times. I feel like for maybe management, it got to a point of like, it's either released now or we annoy our investors who are clearly wanting this game to come out, but it's obviously not in a great state. But I can't tell because we're not. We're not on that side of things. What decisions were made and whatnot. So we can only assume what's happened, and clearly what's happened is the worst game launch in recent history, if not forever.
The worst game launch
ever. I mean, the only high spot that I managed to see, I saw somehow one good news article about Cyberpunk, is that it's actually managed to sell over 13 million copies, which includes any refunds that have come through as well. So clearly it is an incredibly high seller.
People want it. They just want it to work.
Well, that's it. They just want it to be in a functioning state, not be frustrated with a product that they bought that should have been working from day one, even without the day zero patches that come out.
This whole thing just makes me sad. It really does.
It's just where gaming
is. It's just this year, isn't it? This whole year is just nothing but sad.
Yeah, it was kind of like the bright spark at the end of the year, wasn't it? It's like, oh well, at least we've got this to look forward to.
Oh wait,
most annoying things for the year.
You forgot what year you were in. You're not allowed anything good.
Anyway, anyone got any other news?
I got a bit of, I suppose, developers buying of a developers news. I don't know if we reported on last podcast that it looked like Take-Two was going to be buying Codemasters, the racing developing professionals, I suppose, with the F1 series and Dirt,
Micro Machines,
all sorts, Micro Machines, all sorts. Grid as well. I think they did Grid. Grid or Sport, I think, was the last one that came out. But I suppose to be one-upped for reasons, I'm not sure why they've gone into this, EA decided to come in and table a 1.2 billion bid, full cash for Codemasters.
Bidding war.
Microtransaction galore.
Yeah.
Macro machine transactions.
I mean, either way you looked at it, it was either microtransaction galore with Take-Two, with how they've handled their NBA and WWE series, or it was subtle microtransactions with EA.
Can't they both just lose and nobody takes it over?
Well, it seems to be an odd one, doesn't it? Because I thought Codemasters were doing well for themselves, because like the F1 series has been going for years now, and it's always been critically successful. If
Last
not,
one's really good.
yeah. And then I think Dirt. So I would always thought Dirt was a popular gaming series, along with.
Yeah, Micro Machines has always been fun.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what other stuff do Codemasters do, because they're literally just like the racing professionals, aren't they?
I don't know if they have the license for Micro Machines, because I know a couple of years ago there was like a reboot. And it was terrible.
Couldn't be Codemasters. Just an interesting thing going on. I mean, obviously we've had Microsoft gobbling up developers. Obviously Bethesda was the biggest one.
Yeah.
I think Sony got one or two recently. I can't quite remember who they might have been, but
just seems a bit like a land grab at the minute. Everybody's just buying up developers.
It's a bit of a strange time we're in, where everyone's just buying everything until there's only one.
Yeah, the developer.
Then we get to play our PlayStation Series X Pro Edition handheld. I don't know.
Look forward to that one.
Look forward to that, yeah. Get to see Mario and Halo.
I'm surprised they've not put Mario on Fortnite with all the Master Chief and
don't give them ideas
and stuff.
No, it would make more sense to put Samus in, because she's actually a bounty hunter, which is the theme that they're going for this season. So
fair enough.
Give me Samus. Anyway, any other news? I've still got a little bit.
Well, speaking of consoles, so scalpers yet again making the news.
Those jolly fellows.
So did you see this? So a data engineer he did a study for the sales on eBay. I don't know if you saw this. So he wrote a script that was able to search all the sold listings for the new consoles on eBay, and this is what he discovered by doing this. So reportedly, scalpers have made over $28 million on eBay on the sale of the next gen consoles.
28 million.
So on eBay alone, over 60,000 next gen consoles were resold, and this consisted of 6,863 Xbox Series S's, 22,932 Xbox Series X's, 7,322 PS5 digital editions, and 25,642 PS5 standard editions.
Wow. Sounds about right.
And then he was able to determine the median prices of what they were sold for.
Oh God.
And this is what they came with. So, median prices for the console. So the Series S at retail is $299. On the median on eBay was $469.
What?
The Series X retailed for $499, and on eBay, this median was for $865.
Wow.
Those two consoles generated over 9 million profits for the scalpers. Now move on to PlayStation. So the PS5 digital version retails at $399. Sold on eBay, median average $937.
Digital edition, is it?
Yep, that's for the digital one.
You've got to be looking at over $1,000 for the disc version then.
So the PS5 standard edition retailed at $499, sold median on eBay for $1,021.
Wow.
Generated over 19 million profits for scalp business. That was just eBay.
Yeah, that's it.
So
I don't know about you guys, but we've got like all the Facebook marketplaces and Spock and all the other.
So there was another thing where another site was looked at called StockX. From last week, that site had also sold around 60,000 consoles, so about the same number.
Mm.
And that was almost twice as many PS5s were sold than Xboxes. So PS5 is a lot more popular, it seems.
Yeah.
Well, that's basically what that study showed. But have you also heard that the UK government are looking into this? Into scalping network?
I heard in
a Scottish MP was looking into it. I reckon he can't find a PS5, so putting the foot down.
That's it.
So 6 Scottish National Party members tabled a motion proposal to prohibit the resale of gaming consoles and computer components at prices greatly above the manufacturer's recommended retail price. I mean, good.
It's a step in the right direction, definitely.
And it's been signed by 9 members of Parliament. And it also calls for action to prohibit the resale of goods procured using automated bots. It's making that an illegal activity.
Good.
So I wonder if this is going to have legs. I hope so. It's nice that the government. I mean, for us personally, it's good.
Yeah, 100%. It's
PS5 somewhere.
Well, maybe for when the PS6 comes out, this thing will have passed, and we won't have any scalpers. I'd like to know
who they are, because I'd like to know which ones are gamers.
Yeah.
Clearly, these are the gamers, aren't they?
Buy them all a pint.
Yeah. Clearly, they're people who can't afford Christmas for their families.
What? Speaking of consoles, have you heard about the new console that is sweeping the world?
Is it the KFC console?
Yeah.
Finger licking good.
The KF console. So its tagline is "Power Your Hunger." So appropriate, it's like shaped like a bucket. Have you actually seen it?
Yeah, I've seen.
Oh yeah, I've seen what it looks like.
It's like a black bucket with like some red etching.
Okay, so I've got the website here, so I'll just read what it says, because
I know.
Maybe you want this next Christmas. Who knows? If your birthday's coming up.
I want it now.
So introducing the KF console, Power Your Hunger. The KF console has arrived, forged from the fires of the KFC ovens and built by Cooler Master from the ground up. There has never been a tastier way to experience the latest titles in stunning 4K, 240 frames per second. Bold claim.
I'd like to know which tile they can do that.
Minecraft, 240 frames a second.
Yeah. The world's first built-in chicken chamber. Never risk letting your...
This is the one.
Never risk letting your chicken go cold again thanks to the patented chicken chamber. Utilising the system's natural heat and airflow system, you can now focus on your gameplay and enjoy hot, crispy chicken between rounds. Are you sold yet?
This is making me pretty hungry.
Right, there's one feature they need to have on this console. Anti-grease on the controller. Otherwise, that controller could get a little bit...
This is the thing, isn't it? It's just like, I'm not ugh. It's kind of weird, isn't it? So, built and designed by Cooler Master. At Cooler Master, we're wide different. No joke with this. We go way beyond the outside of the box to deliver cutting-edge performance with a touch of class. Our expert mod team, led by the legendary Swedish craftsman Tim Pillay, I think that says, set about building this awesome beast, and boy, did he deliver. And then it's got like a schematic of it.
Yes.
Whatever. So only the best. Housed in a custom Cooler Master NC100 chassis, we needed something small but mighty, and that's just what we got. At the heart of this beast of a machine is the Intel NUC9 Extreme Compute element. I have no idea what that is. Keeping space down and driving performance that mere mortals could only dream of. Never miss a shot. Discover a level of gameplay you didn't know possible with Asus-powered graphics that runs buttery smooth. Keeping tearing and frame drop a thing of the past. With a first-of-its-kind hot, swappable GPU slot, the KFC console will stay the most powerful console for generations to come. I mean, I'm sold.
I'm staggered. Like, me and Lisa have been talking about buying a new air fryer, but this is everything rolled into one. A next-gen console and something that keeps your chicken warm.
Yeah, well, it's not a cooker, is it? It just keeps it warm.
Keeps it warm.
That's right, isn't it? So you buy your KFC, you put it in there immediately, I presume.
Immediately.
and then you just take it out and eat it when necessary.
Just take a bite between rounds. Yeah.
There's got to be.
While you spectating.
They could put mods on it. They could put like an air fryer edition.
Well, there's more here.
The deep fat fryer edition.
More here. Never run out of space for games. Unleash the performance of PCIe NVMe speeds that are 6 times faster. Matt might know what that means. Boot games up in seconds and instantly access data while loading games. We've taken your data to the next level of performance, reliability, and efficiency with 2 Seagate Barracuda 1TB SSDs.
It's pretty good.
Big words.
Well, if
I mean, that's more space than the next-gen console. Other next-gen consoles have got. So.
Those SSDs better be in the shape of a chicken wing, otherwise I'm going to be very disappointed.
I'm afraid not. They're just square. Right. Believe this or not, it's VR ready. Get on your feet and enjoy the world of virtual reality while the smell of fresh chicken captures your senses.
I mean, I used to try one of these consoles, but
Ray tracing. Rays of light individually simulated, creating true-to-life shadows and reflections that will immerse you in selected games more than ever before. 240 frames per second with up to 240 Hz output. Enjoy smooth and fluid high frame rate gameplay at up to 240 frames per second for all games, with support for 240 Hz output on 4K displays.
Wow.
And finally, 4K TV gaming. Enjoy your favourite games in finger-clicking good. 4K quality on supported devices. Well, I mean, I wanted one of them under my Christmas tree, but unfortunately, Santa didn't like me.
That's it. I'm sorry, Series X and PS5, but there's a new kid in town. Finger clicking good.
I might be able to actually get hold of one of these, though.
No, you might
Is there anything about the price on the article?
Well, I did have
on the website.
Well, not on the website, but I did look at the that GPU thing, the internal bit.
Yeah.
That roughly cost between $1,500 and $3,000. So,
oh wow!
So it could be an expensive console.
Yeah.
But,
cheap as chips.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine that being their scalpers. I mean, how much are they going to sell that for?
Buy it for $5, sell it for $10,000.
7, yeah, $10,000. Yeah.
Money making machine right there.
That's it. Keeps your bills nice and warm.
I mean, what a time to be alive, eh?
I know. Like 2020, the year dreams are made.
Well, this isn't the first venture into games for KFC. Did you actually see the game they put out like a couple of years ago?
I didn't know.
They actually did a like a dating sim game.
Oh, I think I might have seen this.
So,
Yeah.
So it was like you were trying to date the young colonel.
Yeah, the colonel, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, that stud.
Well, in the game, yeah, it was portrayed as like some stud, like some young. It's not the colonel like we know it.
Is it like pre-franchise? So when it were getting started?
I can't say I played the game. Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember where it's set. Is it set in a school or something? Like a high school or...
Oh, so the colonel.
It was something like that, wasn't it? It'd be like a high school dating simulator.
Like a high school cookery class or something like that. Or
yeah,
probably.
I can't quite remember. Yeah, something like
that. The colonel's got the recipe to your heart.
Secret blends, herbs and splatters. Anyway, any other news?
Yeah, quite a bit still. Well, unfortunately, the bad news seems to keep on piling for Capcom from the whole, I suppose, massive leak that came out. What? It's about a month ago now. Apparently, a lot more has kind of surfaced for Resident Evil Village, which seems to be the number one target for these leaks. Apparently, a development build for the game was leaked online, along with some screenshots and some story spoilers again. Although this time they decided to include the entire ending as well.
Oh.
Have you? I know you're a lover of Resident Evil, so have you purposely
I've
tried to
stayed
avoid all
away.
this?
I'm
Yeah.
avoiding. I'm not reading anything about anything.
I don't blame you. Is it?
It's-
When is it slated to release? Do we know that?
I don't think it's been
Don't be upset.
officially revealed. I think it was.
But there is a leak of it.
I think it was unofficially revealed for March, April, something like that.
Oh, not too far away. Then.
It's not too far away, no. It just keeps on getting worse. Like, why? Just stop.
Can't we just have
Why you
surprises,
gotta keep on?
please?
Yeah.
Why couldn't the leak that Cyberpunk was terrible before launch?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stuff
It
that we
saved us
did
all
want
money
to
there,
know.
couldn't we? Tell us the
Got all the
useful
Capcom
stuff.
stuff, but you didn't get anything about the console versions of Cyberpunk being terrible. Yeah, I just don't know. Like, I think previously there was screenshots of documents that they'd gotten from Capcom, and I remember one document had like I suppose titles for cutscenes they were going to play, but they obviously in the titles they give you a bit of a description of kind of what those cutscenes were. I didn't get to see any of those, so I was like, well, good for that. But now it's like now even more's come out about like almost the whole story and the ending. So I was like, looking forward to this game, but it's hard work staying away from
The
spoilers.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've kept away from it, but it's just annoying. It's just really annoying.
Just like The Last of Us Part 2 all over again. Just major things getting leaked. You'll inevitably have people that don't like the game before it's been released because they might not necessarily like the ending.
Or a particular scene that happened in the game that got leaked. And then everyone judged that game literally on that on that one cutscene. But yeah, I suppose moving on to that. The other stuff that I've only got two other stuff, or a little piece of news. I think we talked about this previously. You guys know that a Mortal Kombat film was coming out.
Yeah.
Must be. So it was scheduled for January 15th next year. It has actually been pushed back to the 16th of April. So that's when the new Mortal Kombat's come out. I have to say I don't recall much details about it.
No, neither do I.
No.
Do we know what it's going to be released on? Is it going to be like on Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, or is it going to be a...
Well, it's meant to be a full-fledged film, so you would assume theatrical.
Well, with any luck, the theaters will be open at that point, so we can actually go and watch it. That'd be nice.
Well, one certain film that's come out recently is probably a good idea. It didn't come out in theaters. Less said of that, maybe the better. I don't know.
Which one?
The new Wonder Woman. Apparently, it's getting really bad.
Well, we're going off topic here, but I've already said good views, but then it still started having a backlash or something. But anyway,
unrelated anyway. Last little bit of news that I've got is a bit anime related, which Mark always loves. So, so Bandai Namco, I just said that right for once, showed off their the new fire in the season pass for Dragon Ball Fighter Z or Fighters.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you really call it. I don't think there's anything a bit official about that. But so a new fire is going to be Super Baby 2 from Dragon Ball GT.
Oh, cool. I always like the baby arc because I don't know if you know like the lore behind the Sephorians or the Tuffles. They inhabited planet Plant before the Saiyans took it over, and they basically sent Baby as like the last hope and then he came back and tried to recreate the race and stuff in
Help me,
GT.
baby Ark, you're my only hope. I have no idea what you were talking about. But all right.
Yeah.
You've not seen
Star Wars there.
Yeah, you've not seen Dragon Ball, have you, Mark? No.
Probably not.
I think he knows what a Goku is, but it's probably about it. Maybe.
I don't even
No?
know what that is.
Wow.
Well, the Goku is like the Pikachu of Pokemon to what a person is to Dragon Ball.
He's the mascot. That's all you need
Right.
to know.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's the mascot.
Okay.
Goku's the main character.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think.
Does he have a detective version as well?
No, but there is a filler episode where he learns how to drive with Piccolo. Piccolo's a green alien, not the instrument. But anyway, yeah.
Right. Okay.
This is going to many different directions. I wasn't expecting, but cool. So he's been revealed. Apparently he's due out to come. He is due out in the game on the 15th of January. But then also within the same video, they teased the last fire within the pass, which is going to be Go Getter Super Saiyan 4.
Oh, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Yeah.
Gogeta, yeah. For those who
I prefer Go Getter.
Gogeta, Gogeta. That sounds better because it is a fusion of Goku and Vegeta Super Saiyan 4. But anyway.
Vegeta.
Go get him. Something like that.
I feel I'm just taking the mick out of something you clearly both love.
I'm about to cry, Mark. What are you doing?
Yeah. Pokemon, anything anime.
So it's Christmas. Enjoy your stuff. Well, I've got one final thing. We'll finish on something nice, shall we?
Oh, good. Nice and heartwarming.
So, do you guys know what a Tory gate is?
No.
No. Anyway, so basically, a Torii gate is a. So in Japan, the place is called Shinto shrines.
Oh yeah.
To worship, and they have something called Torii gates, which are sort of like on the pathways leading to them. And this past September, a shrine called Watasubi Shrine, one of these Torii gates was destroyed by a tropical storm. Okay, and the local priest, a guy called Yuichi Hirayama, launched a campfire campaign, which is basically like a Kickstarter, to try and fund the restoration.
Yeah.
And the target goal for this was 5 million yen, which is about $48,000. But since it started, it accumulated over 90 million yen, which is 190,000. And can you guess where this Torii gate actually is?
In Japan?
Yes. It's on the island of Tsushima.
Ah, right. Yeah.
Oh.
And it turns out that a large portion of the contributions towards this gate was from fans of the Ghost of Tsushima game.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's nice. So, yeah. So they've something like 3 times, maybe 4 times the amount of money they wanted. So they managed to get the money to restore it. So that's a nice little Christmas miracle there.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lovely story.
Very lovely.
Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Question? Can we go with?
We do.
I think we do.
So the question is, what is your favourite Christmas-themed game, level, or section in a game? What's your favourite Christmas game thing? No, I don't really have one answer to this. I'm just going to reel off a bunch of different things. So you two can go if you want. Go on, Nate. You start us off.
All right, I'll kick us off. So, I think a bit like you, there were a few that I thought of. My first thought was actually GTA in around Christmas when it snows, because you can have so much fun. Like you can have snowball fights, dress up however you want, and just wreak havoc in the snow, which is always Christmassy and nice.
I've got my Christmas car, which they gave me for free a few years ago. It looks like this. It's called a cleek.
Yeah.
It's got like a bow around the top of it. Looks very nice. And you've got to give it a musical horn. So yeah, very nice. I love that.
Yeah. After thinking about a few different options, I settled at the Dead Rising 4 Christmas DLC. So if anybody who knows me, you'll know that I just love mowing through hordes of enemies, especially zombies, because they're pretty stupid. So yeah.
All right.
So
Presumptuous there, but all right.
So this particular DLC, you can dress up like Santa, if you want to, and there's like a baseball bat that you can get with like tinsel on it and like Christmas lights. And when you hit zombies, they basically explode and like go into like lightning and stuff. It's just absolutely insane. There's like a Rudolph motorbike you can get, so you can like smash into zombies with your Rudolph motorbike. You can swing Santa's sack and destroy. You can destroy zombies with your sack if you do so choose. So that's pretty funny as well.
That's the thing.
And you can also change the zombies into elves and gingerbread men while you kill them. Well,
nice.
while you destroy the undead, not kill them because they're already dead. But anyway, yeah, I just think it put a really fun Christmassy twist on Dead Rising. I thought it was really, really fun.
Oh, nice one.
Go on, Matt.
Oh, me. Right. So, for me, I think like kind of like you guys, I thought of sort of like a kind of list of different things that had like Christmas themes and stuff for like games and sort of like events that happened in certain games as well. So, I think one that came to my mind was Call of Duty World War II. So they did this like Christmas event thing where in the game you've got this like sort of social kind of lobby where you'll see other random people and you get to interact with them and stuff. And on the Christmas event one, they'd replaced like so like this there was like a middle bit where there was like a lot of ammo and stuff that was stockpiled. Mm-hmm. They changed that to like a Christmas tree and like little presents under and stuff, and you could pick up like snowballs and like throw them over people just like for the hell of it.
Yeah,
but it was quite funny. But also they also had like I think they made one of the levels like a Christmas themed one as well, or something like that. I might be thinking of another Call of Duty. I think it was the remastered Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 remastered. One of the levels and it was Crash. If you got a 5 kill streak, you got this like a airstrike that comes in.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of jets kind of coming in doing the airstrike, it would be like Santa and like just flies over and just airstrikes people with gifts, which is hilarious. I think another one
that does in real life.
Like it does in real life.
Yeah.
Just comes in bombing people with presents.
That's why I know it's tracking.
That's it. Yeah.
That'd be funny. Another event that comes to mind that I really enjoyed playing was Killing Floor Twisted Christmas.
Okay.
So if you've never played Killing Floor before, it is a sort of like a first-person sort of zombie horde with survival game. Like you go through the level, you survive hordes of zombies, and then you got some like special infected ones as well that did different stuff. And then once you got to like the end of so many rounds, like you'd fight this like boss zombie who was always called the Patriarch.
Mm-hmm.
Who was such a hard boss most of the time. It was so annoying. But in the event that they did, the Twisted Christmas, all the levels had like a Christmas theme to it, and the zombies all had a Christmas theme as well. So like normal zombies would have sort of like Santa hats on, or there'd be this massive one that's got like a chainsaw for a hand. They would now be like what would it be? So like cane looking, and it was all kind of like, it was just funny, and it had like demonic Christmas music playing. It was pretty terrifying. It was actually kind of, it was fun at the same time. Like the Patro as well would just be this massive Santa. um, if I was to do one more, but an actual game that was based on Christmas, and I feel like I might end up stealing one of
No.
Mark's
I'll interject.
choices.
I'll
You interject. Okay. Do you want to interject now? Because I think you'll know what I want to talk about.
Is this Batman Arkham Origins?
This would be Batman Arkham Origins, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think we both agree that it's an underrated game as a whole. More people need to play this.
I think, yeah. I think the thing that takes away from Origins is that it was a buggy game. I don't think it was.
Yes, it did have a few bugs. Yes,
it did have a few bugs compared to like the previous two Arkham games that came before it. But I actually thought, story-wise and in terms of bosses, I thought it was a pretty big improvement over C.
And I just really love the setting on Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah, seeing Arkham City in full snow and all the like the Christmas lights and stuff. It was quite nice.
Yeah, it's like playing through a comic book.
Yeah,
well, because you can say that about all of them. Christmas comic book.
No, it's true. Yeah. Plus, I like the little upgrades they did for it. So like the electric punched fist gun that you got was pretty cool. It was just I think a lot of it was the bosses though, because they generally were better than what C had come up with.
Because when the plot was like he had, was it 8 assassins after something like that?
Yeah. So the whole plot was Black Mask had put a bounty on Batman's head, and he'd essentially opened Arkham City up to 8 of the most like world's dangerous assassins, and whoever kills Batman gets like the money.
Some were better than others.
Some were better than others.
Crap.
Deathstroke was pretty good. I always liked to find Deathstroke. He was good. Executioner was okay. Yeah.
Is he the one? Is he the one who just kicks?
I don't know. He was the one that has
the one way he just boots him, isn't it? It's just like that's it, over with.
Yeah. I did like the one. Who's the one that poisons you? You have like a kind of a like a scarecrow-esque. Yeah.
Copper. Yeah.
You have she was like the Scarecrow of Origins, which whenever like anything that happens is always pretty cool because they're usually like one of the best moments in Arkham games.
Firefly?
What was that?
Firefly, weren't they?
Firefly was interesting, yeah, as well.
You're hanging on through the bridges and all that.
Yeah, much better than Arkham Knight, where you're just racing against them pretty much.
Yeah.
And then the fights with Bane were good as well. I didn't like the last one where you have to like play a bit of a game of hide and seek because that's why it's like infused with the venom toxin, but he like overdoses on it.
Yeah.
So then he's just this massive meathead. And then I think the performance of who played Batman.
Oh, because it wasn't.
It wasn't Kevin Conroy this time. It was obviously they wanted a younger sounding Batman.
I can't remember. I know Troy Baker played young Joker, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought Troy Baker did a great performance because he was pretty much a mimic of Mark Hamill for most of it. He had his own little touches here and there, but I think for the most part, he made like a pretty good mimic for Mark Hamill. But yeah, I think Batman Arkham Origins is a great game if you've not played it, especially one around Christmas. So
I was just trying to look up who played Batman.
I'm trying to remember who it was.
It's not come up as like the lead actor.
No, I'll probably not go down as Troy Baker, won't it? Because he takes lead actor wherever he goes.
Well, do you know who played the Penguin? Take a wild stab. Who do you think it was?
Troy Baker again?
No.
Oh no, yeah, he did.
I can't
He don't. Nolan doesn't play him in the other Arkham games, does he?
He might do. I'm not quite sure. To be honest. Maybe.
Anyway, those are my picks. So, how about you, Mark?
Well, I've gone for my old favourites, which is the Hitman series. So in Hitman Blood Money, which came out on the PS2, there was a level, a Christmas themed level on that called "You Better Watch Out," and it was set in like the Rocky Mountains. And it was like a party going off in the Rocky Mountains, and I remember it specifically because it's like a house built into like the mountainside itself, and it's got like an outside patio kind of thing with a pool,
balcony sort of thing.
Yeah. And it's got a pool on it, but the pool underneath the pool is transparent, so you can see so if you're in the pool, you could see down the mountainside and all that. And one of the ways to kill the target is for when he gets into the pool to shoot the bottom after it, so then he just goes flying straight out of the pool down the mountainside. So it's good. And then the newer Hitman in the reboot from 2016, was it? Yes, I think.
Something like
that one. I don't know if you've seen the Paris level, sorry, but they did a special Christmas version of it called Holiday Hoarders. So it was beautifully decorated in all Christmas stuff. So it's like this. If you don't know what it is, so basically it's one big massive building and there's a fashion show going off in it. That's what's happening in this level. But
yeah,
they themed it Christmas themed. And on it, but on this special Christmas mission, you've got to take out two burglars who are in the building, and they're called Harry and Marv. And if you manage to, so they go about stealing specific things around the building. If you can steal those items before they get them, then you can earn a Christmas outfit. So
very nice.
Your own Santa outfit to go out. But yeah, that's all. Actually, one more thing. There was I can't remember much about it, but I think of it. I do remember it slightly. Did you ever play Bully or Canis Edit, as it was known here?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
There was a Christmas themed part of that. But I can't actually remember much. I think there's one where you get into a fight with Santa. I think.
It sounds about right.
I remember. I really want to play that game again. Or have a sequel.
Funnily enough, the only console I play that game on is the Wii.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's on my that's mine.
Sure.
Your wish list for the future.
Right, shall we move on to what we're currently playing?
Yeah, let's do it.
Go on.
Go on, Matt. Kick it off.
Oh, me? Okay. I feel like I've been playing lots of different things over the last 2 weeks, honestly.
Playing all the games.
Played all the games, yeah. So I'll start off with I ended up going back to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on the Switch. No particular reason that happened from the last podcast that might have made me go back to it. I can't think of many. Yeah. So I ended up going back to that, doing a bit of the World of Light story again, because I actually hadn't completed it. But you got to use all the new sort of DLC characters kind of straight into it, because that game mode is, you're meant to go around find what they're called spirits, but they're essentially like, so say, I don't know, Ocelot from Metal Gear Solid is somehow a spirit in this game. And you end up sort of fighting a character that has a similar play style to what it would think Ocelot would be. So I think, say, something like, I don't know if I'm Solid Snake, but his like moveset would be slightly varied to how like an Ocelot would be. So like it'd be shooting a lot or something, or toning a lot, because that's what Revolver Ocelot likes to do. And So I was going through there, but I was playing as the DLC characters instead. So I was playing as Sephiroth quite a lot. So that was fun. Going back to that game, it still surprised me just how many different game series are represented in that game. Like you look at something like Fortnite, that's got all the Marvel, DC, God of War now, Halo, all sorts of different ones that they had like represented. Star Wars was a big one. But I feel like it's still not like it doesn't celebrate gaming as much as what like Smash Bros. Managed to do. Like having Solid Snake, having Sonic, Banjo-Kazooie, Steve from Minecraft. Of all
well, it's got
people.
all the Nintendo first parties, and then it's got all these third party ones that they can bring in as well. So
Yeah, and it's always like third parties that have like had some sort of
dealing with Nintendo, like Rare, for example, that they brought on board for Banjo Kazooie.
Well, yeah, and obviously Minecraft's on there. Final Fantasy is a bit of a interesting one because I wonder. I mean, it had a big history on Nintendo before 7. So like from like 1 to 6, it was always kind of you could play on Super Nintendo, and that's probably the best way of playing those games. But like from 7 onwards, it's pretty much Sony.
PlayStation, yeah.
PlayStation, yeah. But yeah, so I went back to that since the Game Awards, and then also did a bit of Red Dead Redemption 2 with you guys when I suppose the Christmas update came out when everything was full of snow.
Yeah, that was fun. Fell off our horses quite a bit. Well, I know I did.
Well, you did.
Maxwell died twice.
I've got an interesting story about Red Dead Online. But I wasn't playing with you guys at this point. I think it was the day before. So I'd gone to Saint Denis to the clothes shop, tailors, and I walked outside and there was another player there, just stood looking at my horse. I thought, okay, what's he doing? So I just stood about, and then he just walks over to me and he's just stood there staring at me. I was like, "What do you want, pal? What are you doing?" So I just lit a cigarette in his face, right? I'm just like, "You gonna do something then?" And he just didn't bother. So I just went to an NPC who was behind him and just hog-tied this NPC behind him. And obviously this kicked off like all NPCs around were just like, "Oh, witnesses!"
Yeah,
so they were legging it to get off to fight coppers and all that. And suddenly coppers turn up, start shooting at me. So I jumped my horse and I started pelting away. And just as I'm making away, this other guy starts shooting at me. This other player.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
What were you doing, pal? I was doing nothing to you. So I rode along there's a square outside the tailor. So I barged down steps on the horse and he's chasing me on foot, shooting at me. And then I'm just leaving outside of town. And then I realise this isn't my horse. And
I've nicked his horse.
I'd actually nicked his horse.
You nicked his horse.
And I'm like, oh, that's why he's
shooting at you.
Yeah.
Oh dear me, that's fantastic. Did he? Could he get on your horse?
I think he shot my horse.
Oh
Probably
no!
murdered you for revenge.
But I left the game, so I didn't have to. So when I reloaded, my horse was back alive. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, sorry, pal. I didn't mean to do that. But I was just trying to escape. That's all I was trying to do. Anyway, carry on, Matthew.
That's all right. It was a good start. So after Red Dead Redemption 2, I decided to suppose gift myself for such a bad year that we've had, and I finally had like enough money to be able to kind of buy stuff without worrying about what's kind of happened this year and stuff and that. So, just long story short, I ended up buying the new Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War.
Any good?
I'm enjoying it so far. I've been mainly playing the
story or multiplayer.
The multiplayer. I haven't touched the story yet, actually, which is kind of a bit unusual for me, really, because when I buy a Call of Duty, if it's got a campaign, usually that's like the first thing I'll do. All right, I'll do the campaign, I'll know the multiplayer, and once I've done the campaign, I know sort of enough of the controls and whatnot to jump on multiplayer and feel a bit confident, and then lose that confidence. But I've actually not touched campaign this time. I think just because I've not bought it on launch, so I kind of like I've just kind of I'm just gonna go into multiplayer and stuff. So, multiplayer wise, I've been exclusively playing there's a game mode that allows like the most players. I think it's like 24 players or something. I like the game modes when there's got more players in, because I've kind of got a bit more of a chance to actually get kills and stuff. So I've been playing. There's two different modes of it. One's called Assault, which is the one where two teams fight over like a control point in the middle, and then whoever gets control then kind of moves up to the enemy team's first control point, and it's all about sort of, it's like a game of tug of war. Like you kept trying to capture the other teams.
Yes, you're advancing over areas. Basically.
Yeah, and such. So I've always liked those kind of game modes, because it can go kind of either way, and then like the game could last for like hours if it wanted to. I remember there's one on one of the Battlefields games that's like that. I think it might be in Battlefield 1. That was pretty much like that. And I always loved those kind of type of games. And then the other one is just a normal domination game type, but obviously with 24 players. So I guess a little bit more hectic, but it's I enjoyed the war game mode from the rebooted Modern Warfare, which was up to 64 players. I don't know why Black Ops couldn't do the same, have like a lot of players, but they decided to go a different route. So I've been doing that, and then for the most part on Black Ops, I've been playing the zombies game mode because I love my zombies. So currently trying to do the Easter egg on it. So if you don't know what Easter eggs are when it comes to Black Ops Zombies or Treyarch Zombies modes, Easter eggs are essentially like a list of objectives you have to do within that map. It's almost like kind of like advanced like the zombies story that they've kind of got going. Like they've had like a story mode, well, not a story mode, but like an actual story to explain why zombies exists in Call of Duty, in a way. But a lot of it always kind of leads to, for these Easter eggs, it always leads to like a boss fight at the end, which is quite fun to do and stuff. It's just something. It's like there's two ways of playing zombies. You're either going for highest round, or you try and do the Easter egg, or you die. I suppose there's a third round as well. So
that's the one I go for.
So there's always that one as well.
Yeah,
so,
I'd echo that.
I always die with this because I've got not very helpful teammates who aren't helping me.
Well, if we ever play zombies, Matt, we're not going to be able to help you.
No, I'd train you. I'd be able to train you and do what I'm invested in.
You'd have to carry us.
Yeah.
There's one fun little Easter egg in the it's called Die Machina, the map. You've got to there's a lot of things you got to do. You got to build this machine, then you got to go into what's called the dark ether, or aether. Ether sounds better. And do all sorts of stuff. But then once you come back out of it, in this room, there's like these 5 little bright blue spots that if you shoot them, it takes you back into like the dark ether, and then you get like a rendition of the Ghana dancing with the.
I think I've seen this. Yeah, it's great.
Did you know about this, Mark? Like the meme of the I think there was 4 or 6 Ghanaian people who were like dancing with a coffin on their shoulders.
No, I've not seen this.
You've not seen it?
I'll send it you after the podcast
I think it was a
so you can have a
massive
look.
massive meme this year.
So if somebody gets like destroyed at something, they'd cut to these like 6 Ghanaians dancing with this
coffin on the
coffin.
shoulders.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But they decided to recreate it in Black Ops. But like they're carrying this like, I suppose, crate thing. But then once it's over, you can open this crate and actually get like rewards and stuff out of it. So it's like there's a reason to do it, but it's just kind of funny. So that was Black Ops. And then one game I've kind of gone back to, but because a mate of mine on PC bought it, as well as No Man's Sky. So we decided to start doing the co-op stuff on that, and just been enjoying it actually. I forget how when it first came out, it was obviously not brilliant, but since all the updates and my correct prediction in it winning the best ongoing game, it's much improved over the years with its expansion and stuff. And I think full credit to the team for how they've managed to turn it around. It's a really good, I suppose, redemption story for the developers. So I've been playing that. And then 2 new games that I bought kind of around Christmas time on PC. One was Among Us. Decided to buy on PC because it's literally the biggest game going at the moment.
Yeah.
And it is pretty addictive, actually.
What do you think of it so far?
I like it, but the thing that's currently slightly ruining it for me is that you always get one individual who isn't playing it to like win or anything. It's just to kind of disrupt and just call out people's colors even if they've not done anything.
Yeah. So they're ruining it a bit.
Yeah. I feel like when I watch YouTubers play it, there's more of an organized look to it. Like, people aren't just calling out, random people. If there isn't enough evidence for someone to get rid of, then they'll just skip because they don't just, oh yeah, we'll just get rid of them. Like when I've been playing it, especially when I've been imposter, when I've been playing it, I could be trying to do, I suppose fake tasks and whatnot, and just do my own thing, trying to look to see who I can kill. And then someone calls like emergency meeting and gone, I've seen him, he vented. And I'm like, not even vented yet. Like, how can you see me? And I get voted out, and it's like, oh, I didn't vent. It's just really frustrating. But it's really addictive. It's one of those like just one more go kind of games.
Well, that's it. The games can end so quickly, and it's just so easy to join another lobby that it can just be like, oh, just one more game, just one more game. And there, like an hour later, like what's happened?
Yeah,
I think we should set up our own local lobby or something so Mark can play. So yeah, I think that'd be fun. Get a few of us together.
Yeah. Well, you can get on mobile for free, and I think it's on Switch as well. I don't know if it's free on Switch, but
I think it's a couple of quid on Switch.
Yeah, it's not that expensive. It's like at most £4. So it's easily a pretty easy £4 spent and get your money's worth out of it. So that's been fun. And then one other game that we got, which was new, which is called Which It, which is on the PC. I don't know if it's on consoles or whatnot, but it's if you've ever played a game type called Prop Hunt, it's pretty much a whole game based around that. So Prop Hunt is a game type where one team are, I suppose, hiding as little props within the game level, and you've got another team who have to obviously find the prompts, find the props, and kill them. But this one's got a nice little twist to it, where it's like there's 2 sides. So one side are the witches, who turn into different props or whatnot, and then the other side are these like massive grunt people who are like throwing potatoes, which is an interesting little twist. Well, that's how they try and figure out what the props are and what. So, but each side have got like different little powers as well. So, if you're a witch, you got one power where you can fly like a witch on a broom. All these other stuff, like you can throw this like little creature at the hunters, and it gives them like a jump scare for like a couple seconds. And like when that first happened to me, I ended up like almost falling off my chair because I wasn't expecting. Because like I remember I looked in the options as well before playing the game, and I saw one where it said disable jump scares. I was like, what does that mean? Jump scares?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't disable it, but I was like, when it happened, I was like, Jesus.
Why? Surely that was a warning.
Probably, yeah, should have been, yeah.
Decides to be a manly man. I can handle the jump scares. Wait.
So he says, and doesn't play a game that we're going to be talking about later. Anyway, And then, so for the hunters as well, they've got different powers. So like, one is where you can like throw a chicken out, and where the chicken lands, if like a prop's near it, it will like give a little alert that like, oh, there's a prop in this area and stuff. So it's like a little kind of, oh, I can find where the props are and stuff. It's a nice little game actually. It's quite fun. I've been enjoying it. And that is pretty much all I've been playing. So, what about you? Go you, Nathan.
Me. Okay. Well, just to kind of go on from what you said before, I've actually been playing a bit of prop hunt on World War II. I'd never play the shooting bit of it because I'm not very good, and I just get frustrated with myself. But we did play some prop hunt, which is always fun. There was a couple of on prop hunt you can change what you are 3 times. So you spawn as like say a filing cabinet, but if you want to change, you can. You get a couple of options, and I ended up changing something much bigger than I was initially, and I was just running around as like a lamppost, just trying to survive. Lampposts are pretty good though because they're quite thin, so they can be difficult to shoot. But yeah, I did end up dying a lot. But it is a really fun game mode because, as you know, periodically you get the whistles, so you're having to like look around and shoot everything to see what the prop is, and they can like run around and stuff. So, and some of them can be quite nippy, so it can be difficult to catch them. But yeah. Played a few rounds of that, which is always fun. So
you two made me want to play World War II again. We should get back on that.
Yeah, shall we do it? Shall we play some World War II and prop hunt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to inject
war.
Just to inject a little bit as well, because prop hunt's on Cold War as well.
Is it?
So I was playing a bit of that, and it's it can be a lot of fun. It's just mental. I really don't like the whistling though. I think it's a bit of a gives you away a bit too easy.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't,
possible if you didn't know, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's it. Because if you don't know the maps and what's there, then you would really struggle without the whistles. So I do think they are needed to help the game move
I
on.
think other gamers do it better, like Witcher. I like Witcher's way of doing it, but anyway.
Yeah.
We'll go back to World War II at some point. Yeah, throwing potatoes.
Yeah. Yes, I've been playing that. I've started playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps on the Xbox One. So really enjoying that so far. It's an absolutely fantastic platformer. So the start of the game, an egg hatches, and it's Coo the owl. And the owl's got like a broken wing, so it's heartbreaking. There's no like talking within the game either. So what the game does really well is like visual cues and the way their eyes look, so you can see what kind of a mood they're in. So if they're feeling upset and that kind of thing. So yeah, the beginning of the game, you're Ori, like this little monkey light thing. And I don't know how to explain Ori.
I'll probably say like a mouse. I think it's more of a mouse.
Anyway, yeah, whatever that is. Yeah, anyway, so like. Coo hatches and it can't fly because of its broken wing. And then you find a feather from its mother. And then your two like the dads or mum and dad or whatever the adults are attach this feather to Coo's wing, and then it can fly, which is really nice. And then it flies around, and eventually you fly into a storm, and then you get separated, and then that's where the game really starts. So you've got to try and get through all these trials to get to Coo. So you've got to find like these keys to open doors to get to like the next point. And you get chased by this big like dog thing, which you're trying to escape from. And as you go through, you get like new powers to help you progress in the game. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. It tugs on the heartstrings. I don't know whether it's a mix of like, because the creatures are so small and helpless, and you can really see when something's wrong with them. And then the music as well is fantastic. But yeah, it just got me emotional. I was like trying to fight back tears about 2 minutes in when this owl had a broken wing. Like, what's going on, Nathan? But yeah, really enjoying it so far. I've not finished it yet, but I'm a couple of hours in right now, and yeah, can't wait to keep going and get through it. But it is a really nice game. It's out for the Switch now as well. So if you've got an Xbox or a Switch, I'd definitely recommend it if you like your platformers. So yeah. Moving on to another platformer that I've been wanting to play since it came out, Crash Bandicoot 4. So I got Crash Bandicoot 4 as one of my Christmas presents, and I've not put it down so far. It's absolutely fantastic. It's set after the first three games, so Wrath of Cortex and anything that's come beyond that is just gone, which I don't really care too much about. So I know, shock. Yeah, the first three games are brilliant, but yeah. Anyway, so the way the game starts is Aku Aku, the evil mask, is attempting to liberate himself, Neo Cortex, and Nefarious Tropy, like the time creature thing, out.
Uka Uka.
Yeah, Uka Uka. Did I say Uka Uka?
I think it was Aku Aku, wasn't it?
Is it? I think it's Uka Uka.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, basically, he managed to rip a hole in space time so that they can escape. But he faints or dies. I'm not quite sure yet. And then so Neo Cortex has been liberated, and all his minions have as well. So the game begins at that point, and you've basically got to travel through rifts in time from island to island, and they've got different themes. So one of the islands is all pirate themed, and all the levels are pirate themed. One of them's it's really high tech, of a location, and at the end, futuristic. Yeah, I could say that.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the end of each island, you've got to do a boss battle. But yeah, it's really fun. You can play all the levels as either Crash or Coco as well. So you can just, before you go into the level, you can pick which character you want to play as. You can also play as other characters as well. So someone called Tana, I think her name is. I played one level as her. She's like a Bandicoot from a different time space, because there's all these holes in time. So you're basically going through different rifts to get to certain times and certain worlds and stuff. It's quite weird. Also, there's different masks that you can use as you go through. So I've only used one mask, but you can basically put the mask on, and it allows you different powers. So the one that I've used so far, you can materialize and dematerialize different bits of the level to get through. So for example, if you dematerialize a certain bit, it materializes something else. So you have to be quite quick in using that power to jump to the next point. Sometimes there's also these videotapes that you can get. If you pick up a certain amount of boxes, when you get to these videotapes, you can get them, and it splinters off to the past. So you can play a Crash Bandicoot level set in 1996. So that's quite a nice bit as well. But I'm on the third section so far in the game, and I'm really enjoying it. It's absolutely fantastic. Honestly, if you love the first three Crash Bandicoot games, or if you just love the Crash Bandicoot franchise at all, and you've not got this game, just get it. It's fantastic. What about you, Mark?
I have to say I've not really played all that much. I've played a bit of things. So I jumped on GTA Online because recently they had the Cayo Perico heist, which was introduced. It's quite a substantial, large heist to do. It's quite lengthy. But in order to start it, you have to buy a submarine.
Oh, right.
So I now own a submarine.
How much is that?
Cool.
Well,
the base one.
six.
The base one's about 2.2 million.
Oh, that's not too bad. He says.
Well, I bought vehicles with it, which bumped it up to about 5.5. So mine's got a
Mr.
chopper.
Moneybags over there.
Mine's got a chopper and a mini submarine as well, which is better than the other mini submarine you can get in the game.
Oh, really?
So basically, the Karapoka heist is basically there's a drug baron on an island. So there's this brand new location. It's like this tropical island. It's quite a large island. So you go there undercover as part of like. So they've introduced like a new DJs into this. This drug lord's having like a party on his island. So you're invited undercover as part of this DJ. What's the word I'm looking for?
Entourage?
Not entourage, yeah. You're kind of part of them.
Yeah.
And then you have to sneak around the island trying to locate like entrances into places in the island, things that you could steal, vehicles you could hijack, etc. So you're basically like doing recon on the island.
Yeah.
And you can keep going back to the island whenever you want to look for more things. And obviously, the more things you find, the better options you have when you come to the actual heist.
Okay.
And there's also a lot of like setup missions that you do in the main game in Los Santos. So like stealing vehicles that you can use and whatever. But it's just all about giving yourself options to how to steal, how to get all this loot. So I've just been playing that with my brother. We've actually barely touched most of it. We've done our first recon of the island. We'll probably go back there because there's a lot of things we missed. And then we've stolen a few vehicles. There's a massive like stealth fighter jet thing. It's huge. So
I think I've seen a YouTube video. Yeah, I think you can use it to like do a halo jump onto the island.
Yeah, because if you fly so high, it doesn't get caught on radars or something like that.
Something like that.
There's another way we've nicked a sonar jammer off a submarine, so we've had to swim to a submarine out of the sea, and then go on it, and then nick this jammer off it. And we stole this other plane. But anyway, we've not actually got into the proper heist yet. But it's in some of the setups, and there's a lot of things left to do on it. A lot of things. But the good thing is, it's not one of those where you have to be in a public session. That's what I hate about some of the heists. It's like, oh, you're going to do your setups in a public session. So if you try and get something, obviously some turd in a jet fighter will come and destroy it.
Yeah,
that's not what happens, isn't it? So, but yeah, you can do it in all the private sessions. So that's good. So just gonna carry on with that. I don't know why I did this, but I jumped on another game which I've not played in about 3 years, maybe. I jumped back on Rainbow Six Siege.
That's a blast from the past.
I played it and I realised why I stopped playing it. Because
you're not good at it?
Well, it might be that way. It's not easy, put it that way. Particularly if you play it. Because the thing is, obviously, it's aimed at like multiplayer, really, isn't it? Like, Is it 5v5 or is it 4v4? It's one of them. But I think it's 5v5, isn't it?
I think it's 5, yeah.
But there are things like terrorist hunts and kind of like tutorial kind of things. But because this is like a 10-year thing, and they've just kept updating it, and I don't understand the menus on it, so I couldn't really find this terrorist hunt thing back when that I used to play. I'm gonna have to look it up because it's so utterly complicated. It tells you no information on the menus. It's stupid. So I just ended up like doing one, and it randomly put me on a map where I was protecting a hostage. There's one level set in a bank, and I was supposed to be protecting a hostage. So it put me in the vault at the bottom of the bank. And so it was just me, and then obviously these AI
bad guy,
terrorists, bad guy, yeah. So I was just there, did all my boarding up, all the stuff, and I kept the vault door open just so I could see where they were coming from.
You'd see, yeah.
And then just everything's quiet. So you can hear him charging down the stairs and all that. I'm just like, right, here we go. Comes around the corner, so give him some few shots at the chest. It's twitchy. The gunplay is really twitchy in that game. It's nuts. How was it? So I was like peppering all around him. It's like some comedy film where you shoot around the person.
He's the protagonist.
Made the outline of it.
Yeah. I managed to kill him though, and then the guy burst through my boarded up doorway to the left, shot me a few times, and another guy came from this way, both shot me. I died. I thought, well, that's me done with this game. So, I can't carry on like this. It's a difficult game.
It is difficult.
I think it needs a better. I think it needs to. It needs something better to improve. Like if you're playing single player, I think there's too much focus on the multiplayer, which really annoys me. I don't think they really care about anything about anybody playing offline.
Welcome to games in 2020.
It just really irritates me. It's just like, let me play offline. Let me just play some nice, easy AIs. Well, it don't have to be really easy, but just easier. It's like if they never miss shots. That's what really annoys me. It's like the enemies are always so good, and then there's always like tons of them who come at you at once, all from multiple angles. It's just like you never stand a chance. I mean, have either of you got it?
Siege.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, we all played it.
We all played it.
That must be a long, long time ago.
Yeah, I think it was a year or two ago.
I probably wouldn't mind playing it if we went back on like as a team, but playing it single player is just so difficult.
Because I think what we used to play was when we basically protect the hostage. I think we played that more than anything. Now we're always good.
I think there was that, and there was like the terrorist hunt we have to clear many in the level.
Terrorist hunt is my favourite one. I don't like the protect. I don't really like the protect hostage. The worst one's the bomb one. What you gotta? It's like two bombs. You gotta.
Oh, you gotta protect them so they don't arm either of them. So
what happens is that as soon as you get to the bomb, then suddenly that's when all the enemies turn up. It's just like tons of them.
Just waves of enemies coming at you. Like no.
Whereas terrorist, you've got like a counter, haven't you? It's just like you've got 22 enemies in this building. Go and take them all out. It's great. As a single player, I wouldn't mind doing that. You know, I mean, it'd be still hard, but it's better than the protect hostage stuff. But I couldn't find a way to do that single player now.
Let's have a look on menus.
But I don't know. Maybe we should play as a team again. But
I won't mind giving it a try because I mean, it obviously got a resurgence in like its second year or something. Because like I think in its first year it was kind of struggling, didn't really know what I wanted it to be, and then after that it's like esports one of its biggest games now is Rainbow Six Siege. The only thing I don't really like about Siege,
gunplay.
Yeah, and I think maybe I do this unfairly because any first-person shooter that I kind of play, I'll always kind of compare it to Call of Duty because I always think Call of Duty is quite like the pinnacle of first-person shooting gunplay mechanics and how it feels to like aim and move around and stuff. And I always found Siege to be quite stiff, maybe.
Yeah.
Like if I rotate like left on Call of Duty, I kind of go about maybe about 25 degrees, but it feels smooth and I feel like I could control where I was going. Whereas like with Siege, when I did it, it was like, boom. I was like, whoa, it was a bit quick, like, and I didn't feel like I had real control over how I moved.
Well, I think it's like I think it's the opposite of that. For me on Siege, I think it's too slow.
No, yeah, I think the movement's slow, but I think that's deliberate for it being it's more about strategy. It's about.
Oh yeah.
You know, you got to think about what you're doing rather than Call of Duty is very kind of blind, run wherever you want, lone wolf style. I won't mind giving Siege another go.
When I put on the game, it gave me a cinematic, which I knew was going to happen because I've not played it so long in typical Ubisoft fashion. And it was just like advertising this World Cup thing. It's just like 5 of the what are they called? Operators. That's what they call them. Yeah. But they're all wearing like stupid like sports tops with the names on the back, walking into a stadium. I'm just like, what? This isn't Siege. What? What?
Siege sports, mate.
This is the future.
Well, this is about people going into buildings shooting things. Why is this the cinematic? Anyway, stupid.
Pushing that streamer life.
Anyway, that's what I've been playing. Nothing else.
Great.
Right. Should we move on to the video game Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
We shall, yes.
So this is where we take an in-depth look at a game of high quality or historical importance, inducted into our pantheon of games we feel deserve special recognition. Inductee this episode was released in 2011 for the Xbox 360, the PS3, and the Windows PC. Developed and published by Bethesda, it's The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. Quite a game. I mean, we've sort of, well, it's become a bit of a meme, really, hasn't it? The game.
Yeah.
No, it is, yeah.
But as much as we take the mick out of it, you know, because obviously we keep saying, oh, it keeps coming out on every console and it keeps getting
That's it. Oh, they have a smart fridge soon.
But it is a good game.
It is a
It really
fantastic open world game. It's just so much fun. You can be whatever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do, and you can shout at people in dragon.
In dragon speak.
So you're the Dragonborn?
You're the Dragonborn.
Yeah, that's it.
And you just. The thing is, I've only just recently started playing this, but I've watched people playing this game for years, so I could pretty much know. Like, I've seen so many walkthroughs that I pretty much know it inside out anyway. So yeah, you're sort of Dragonborn, and you're sort of like in the middle of like a civil war, aren't you? Between the Imperials and the Stormcloaks. You know,
Yes, yeah.
Great opening. I love that opening sequence.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So when you're brought into, I can't remember the name. Is it River? What? Is it Riverwood? It might be or not. But there's a town you've been brought into, isn't there? Where you're about to get your head chopped off.
Yeah.
And then big dragon turns up, destroys the town, and then you leg it. Great opening. So what's your memories of Skyrim then? What kind of character did you make?
I think I made a Nord.
Nord. So they would like just the human kind.
That's human, yeah.
Nords are like the like high class ones, I think.
So they made a posh guy.
I think so. I just think there was them.
What did you name?
I just named it me.
Yeah,
not me. It was called Nathan.
Just me.
Yeah, I just called it. I made it look as much like myself as possible, and I called it Nathan, and then went off on my way after nearly getting my head chopped off, and then fighting the dragon, learning my first shout.
Yeah, what was my first character?
Well, I decided to make a Khajiit. Well, that's the cat.
Oh, the cat ones.
Yeah, the cat. Yeah. And I called him Whiskers of Middlefart.
I'm a spammer tea. Okay.
Middlefart is actually a real town in Denmark, but I just thought it sounded funny, so I went with that. So it's quite funny when there's one where like a bounty's set on you. I don't know, you probably come across it, where like some guy just starts chasing you, tries to kill you, and then if you lose his body, he's got like a bounty note on him, and he actually puts your name on it. So, oh, I want you to take out Whiskers of Middlefart. Great game though. I mean, this is like my ideal perfect game. Just a game where you just walk around finding random people, just talking to them, and just getting things to do.
Yeah.
But I've been playing. Cool, go.
I was going to say, yeah, I'd echo that. It's definitely for me. It's definitely a step up from Oblivion. Because Skyrim was my first Elder Scrolls game that I ever played. And I can remember going around to my friend's house and he played Oblivion, and I'm like, oh, I can never get into this. And then when Skyrim came out, I'm like, yep, dragons, love that. I'll buy it and see what it's all about. And I was just hooked on it. I made my character, and at that point, I just got behind the story. Got behind the open world aspect of it. You could do whatever you want to do. You can go wherever you want to go. You can make yourself whatever you want to be, really. And the variety of the locations as well. So there's like mountains, dungeons. You can go into like the woods. There's towns, cities. You can join different guilds. I think at one point I joined this magic school. Because it's like Harry Potter. But yeah, I did that at one point. One thing I really did like about the game is that it doesn't put too much emphasis on your skill tree when you first set your character up. Because some games do, when you preemptively say, oh, I want to be good at alchemy or I want to be good at crafting or something like that. But in this game, you expand your skill tree as you level up through the game by fighting creatures and using magic, and you expand it that way. So you can really evolve as you play the game into what kind of a character you want to be and what you want to specialize in. So I thought that was a really good aspect of it.
And I have to say, I've been playing the game with mods because I'm a cheater. I don't care. That's what I'm. But let's be honest, this game was made for mods, wasn't it? So I've been playing the special edition on Xbox. And that's got more mods compared to the PlayStation version, apparently. So I have got a Kylo Ren mod. So you've got Kylo Ren's lightsaber.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. So he's got like a red cross one, hasn't he? Brilliant. I would encourage you to play with it. Yeah.
What would you say your favourite mod is?
Well, it's got the cheat room. Have you heard about the infamous cheat room? So basically, if you want anything, so you can set one of your spells to teleport you to this cheat room, and basically in this cheat room you can do anything you want, really. So it's got like the smelter, the forge, the workbench, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it's got like drawers on the wall, and like like buttons. So if you press this button, it'll give you like 10,000 coins. So it's like, there you go. Thank you very much. I'll have some of them.
Oh, interesting.
So basically, I've kind of like made myself rich.
Yeah.
I mean, Khajiit wares, so Khajiit has coins. So yeah. So I bought myself a house. That's a good thing I really like is when you get yourself a house.
Yeah, and you can like fill it with books and furniture and do what you want with it. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So I became the yacht. Not the Jarl, the Thane. That's it. The Thane of Whiterun. I got my first little house. Because I was rich at that point, I managed to decorate it fully out.
Yeah.
And then they gave me the house call, so that this person who helps you out. So we both went on a mission. What was it called? Lydia, I think her name was. So we went on a mission to check out this witch thing, and Lydia died. So
that
was the end of that.
Lydia.
So didn't even last one mission, but
poor lady.
I didn't care.
Have you bought a horse yet?
Yes.
They're more expensive than I thought they were going to be.
Is it 1,000? Is it 1,000 gold? I think
something like that. But I can remember them being whatever horse I bought at the time was fairly expensive.
You can't name the horse, though, can you?
I didn't name mine. No.
I don't think it allows you to, which is disappointing. I wanted to call it some weird name, but it just says Whiskey or Middle Fast Horse.
Yeah.
Have you actually completed the game? Because
I've not, no. So I got
4 main missions, I think.
I was pretty much the same. As I was going through the game, I just got sidetracked so much. I ended up playing about 200 hours, and I don't even know if I was about a third of the way through the main bit of the game because I just liked walking off and exploring. And you just walking in the woods and you find a cabin there and you find a witch in there and you just sort of fight with her.
It's like every time I walk through like a new area, it's like, oh, there's a person. Let me go talk to that person. You run up, and then either they'll get involved in like a dialogue tree, or they'll just like give you some standard line, won't they?
Yeah.
It's like it's. I'm stuck by the amount of people who will actually just give you proper discussions, who will actually talk to you, and then will end up giving you a quest. It's like, oh, I'll do this. I'll go and do this, and then you go and talk to the next person, and then they'll tell you to go off and do something. And then you go away, you do your thing, you come back. You say, oh, I've done this thing for you. Oh, here's your reward, here's your gold coins. And then another person turns up and goes, oh, let me go and talk to that person. And it's just this continuation of talk. You just keep coming across other people to keep talking.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just never ending. And then before you know, you're just never getting on with the main story at all, are you? So let me just do this thing. But what I love is the ones where it just says, well, back in my day, I lost these 3 items. I lost my sword and my shield and my cloak. And so I was like, I can see where this conversation is going.
Oh, you
If
don't
only
want me to fetch those items.
If only somebody could help me find those. That's pretty much what the game is. If I was to give one negative about the game, is I think too much of it takes place in caves.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of like dungeon style, like in caverns and caves. Yeah.
It's like, oh, go and kill this bandit leader or something like that, and it's inevitably always in a cave.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's too easy to get a bit lost in, and they all a bit samey. I want to spend a lot of time above ground.
Yeah,
because it's a beautiful looking world.
Oh, it is. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But that's probably the only real negative I have.
The one great aspects about the dragons is if you're in the middle of fighting somebody, then some of the dragons could randomly just pop in.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, that's it. Just like freeze blast you or fire whichever kind of dragon it is, and you just get absolutely annihilated. Like, listen, mate, I was focusing on this person. What are you doing? I'll kill you later.
Yeah, because I only killed 2 dragons. So there's one like in the story early on, isn't there?
Yeah, the first. Yeah.
And then there's
one near Whiterun, isn't it? Whiterun, sorry.
Yeah, near Whiterun. Yeah. Near that tower. I think that's there. And then there's one. What's the place? The one with that magic school. I think you were on about. It's in the top right.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's in the snowy mountains, isn't it?
Oh, it's just like there's like a little village bit on the outskirts, and suddenly it was just this. I don't think it was supposed to be there, but it just turned up. It just rocked up.
They can just randomly spawn in.
Yeah.
You do
so I was there just like cowering under a canopy of this house. as this dragon kept sitting on top of this like building across from the road. Just like, well, I'm supposed to take you out. I can't go anywhere. I can't fast travel because there's an enemy nearby. So I was just there firing crappy arrows at it. Just and then like there's other people in the town, like other guards, started firing arrows. And obviously the dragon just murdered them. So it's like it was just me trying to take them all out.
Thanks like, for your help, gods.
Yeah, so it's like I'll just go inside and wait for it to go off, and he just wouldn't. Yeah. So I was just there pummeling like a ton of arrows into it, but eventually killed it. But it took a long time. I want to take the lightsaber to one of them though. I've not done that yet.
Ooh, that'll be interesting.
That's good. That's good. Next task.
That's it.
But the mods are so good.
They are. My favourite mod is turning the dragons into Thomas the Tank Engines.
I've not seen that one.
It's fantastic because I've seen it on YouTube where there's they mod the dragons into being Thomas the Tank Engines. Then they spawn about 50 of them in, so they're just like Thomas the Tank Engines floating around, just going choo choo, and then just attacking your character. It's brilliant.
That must have lagged his machine. Jesus.
And then there's the spiders, of course. It's probably putting you off a lot, didn't it? There must be a mod to get rid of them. I would have thought so. Surely there must be a mod.
There is, yeah. So, I mean, I can only play on Skyrim on PC with mods. So there is one that replaces spiders with what are they called? They're called some like frost something bears. So you end up fighting like bears instead. Which I mean, funny story. So I've played Skyrim vanilla and managed to like I suppose get through so much without having to just
you are forced to go through a spider bit early on, aren't you?
Yeah, so early on there's a bit of a cave, but I think it's just kind of the smaller variants. I don't think there's like one of the giant ones. So the small ones aren't too bad. But one of the very early story missions has you going up to it's a tower on a snow ledge quite near Whiterun, I think. I can't remember what it's called now. It's been ages since I actually last played Skyrim. But you have to like go through some bandits before you get in to like the tower, and then you have to sneak through, fighting through more bandits. And then there's a bit where there's like a spiral staircase, kind of come all the way down, and then once you get there, you see that kind of one of the doors on the left's been webbed up, and you've got to break the web, and there's already a telltale sign that something is here that I don't really want it to be.
It's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah. It's Man the Spider. And then you go to your right, and I think you find a guy that you meant to find or something who's kind of webbed and kind of died or something like that. You get something from him.
Yeah, I've done this bit. Yeah, he's alive, but he's webbed up.
He's kind of alive, something. And then you kind of turn around, you walk for a bit, and then out of this like hole in the ceiling or something, the spider comes like dangling, giant spider dangling down. And I'm like, yeah, no, this is where the game ends for me. Actually, I did get through that battle on vanilla. I cheesed.
You turned away and just went.
Yeah, that's what you saw. Like,
Closed my eyes, just start swinging.
You
No, I
fire out.
yeah, I
ends up killing bloke instead.
Yeah.
yeah. Boom. Oh, damn it! Whoops. I actually cheated the game a little bit on this point because I went back through the door that I came in, and because of his size, the spider couldn't
get through.
Well,
Yeah.
so it kind of
Smart.
kept going like
Smart.
left and right trying to get it, and I was there just shooting arrows at it. Yep. I ended up killing it, and I was like, yes, this is great. But when I went through that same bit again, when I had the modded bit, so now it's bears. So I got through, and the bear just kind of spawns. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just do my tactic that I did with spider. I'll just go through the door and just start cheesing it. Went through the door, turned around, the bear's right behind me, and I'm like, oh no! And I started running up the stairs. It chased me up the stairs. I was like, this is not what I wanted. So I can quite cheat my way against the bear. I eventually killed it after a couple of deaths, but because they make the bears a little bit tougher to fight compared to spiders for some reason. I suppose just to make it a little bit more difficult because yeah, it's like you're a pussy. So here you're gonna go against this formidable bear that eats spiders. Because they made a storyline. They made it in the mod. They made like a little story bit of like why spiders are suddenly now in Skyrim. Like, oh, these bears have come in and taken over and just eaten them.
They've decimated the spider population.
Right. Yeah, but there's still like spider eggs about as well that you can pick up and get. The items that you would normally get from a spider. Mm. So that was fun. I remember the specific bit. I actually think I stopped playing the vanilla Skyrim. There was another mission you have to go into a cave or something, and there's like this really short kind of walk space that you have to go through, and then like a crack that you go in. And when I got to the crack, I just spotted there's like 2 giant frostbite spiders. I was like, yeah, no, that's it. Game over. I can deal with one to a certain point, but when you throw 2 at me at the same time, I'm not having it. So, but I mean, with mods, I mean, you can make the game as massive as you want, really. I mean,
I just think you can make it more entertaining.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to be a purist,
if you want to be a purist, don't play it with mods. But there is a lot of like, I suppose what they call low-friendly mods that add to the game in a natural way. Which is always good. You can play like that, or you can go absolutely crazy. Like
it's got like expansions as well that were made as mods. Is it Forbidden City or something like that? Forgotten City? It's one of them. Something like that.
It's got a really faithful community that backs it.
Yeah.
Even to this day, 9 years on, it's still getting like upgrades and stuff. It's just testament to what a good game it is that people care about it that much to expand the lore and continue to make stuff to build on it. It's great.
Well, I think it's something that I think Bethesda has always been kind of famous for, is that it's always supported its community in being able to mod their games and really kind of do whatever they want. Like, I mean, there's so many mods and like little expansions. I mean, even there's a big project going on. I think someone's converting the Morrowind game, but in the Skyrim engine. And that's been going on for years, and it looks really good so far. I think someone's doing the same with Oblivion. There's just like there's no limit to what the community can come up with when it comes to like modding for Bethesda's games. Even like obviously the Fallout series, there's so much they've done with those games as well. Like I think someone's converting Fallout 3 in the Fallout 4 engine, which is crazy. But I mean, with Skyrim, it absolutely blew up so much with the modern scene. And I mean, the one small negative that I could throw at it when it comes to the modern scene was I think they did try to monetize mods on
so you have to pay for the
Steam,
mods.
I think it was through Steam, yeah. Like they wanted to. I can see what their intention was that they wanted to reward the modders with obviously their hard work and stuff and that. But I think a lot of it for at least the PC side of it, I think a lot of people kind of saw modding as like a hobby, and it shouldn't be a way to monetize it basically. Like if you want to donate to the modders who make the stuff and that, then they've got that option, but it shouldn't be forced upon them, which was a little, I suppose, black mark in Bethesda's little cap, I suppose. But they really kind of reversed it once they got a lot of backlash for it, so that was good at least. But yeah, Skyrim is just absolutely massive as a game.
I don't want to get on the negativity train, but the only negative I'd put against the game is the combat. Because when you slash an enemy, you're just slashing air a lot of the time. The hits don't feel like hits.
That's true. There's not much feedback on them, is there?
Yeah, like when I'm slicing through somebody, I want to know that I'm slicing through them, not like I'm slicing through a marshmallow.
Although you get to a certain point, and that's when you're able to decapitate people. Seen that?
Oh, they're like
that kind of tells me that tells me that I've killed them.
Yeah, but I mean, like generally, like some hits you can do, like
especially
when you just do a general slash. You'll have to send us a video. Show us what it's like.
Oh, it's very good. Very
good. Yeah, because I've not got the most recent iteration of Skyrim. I've got it on PS3, and I've got the VR version on PS4, which I'm only about half an hour in on, because I played it and got a bit dizzy, and I've not gone back to it since.
Did you reach the spider bit?
I didn't know. I'm still in the catacombs in the first bit of the.
This actually, when it came to that spider bit, I actually didn't get involved in it. I just let the other bloke take all out. Yeah.
Just let the other.
I just
you rescued the other bloke and let him fight a spider.
I didn't get involved. He handled it perfectly fine.
How much to do with me?
Don't need me. You can absolutely just lose hours in this game, though, can't you?
Oh, absolutely.
When I started playing this, about a week and a half ago or something like that. It's just like before I knew it, all the day had gone.
Yeah, where does time go?
Between different tasks.
You spend a lot of time traversing the land as well. That you can just get lost in that, just walking.
Well, I've been doing so. Obviously, once you visit a place, you can then fast travel there, can't you? So I did spend a period of time just walking to different places, just so I fast travel points. So I do fast travel between places now, but it's like when you get to a point and then suddenly you see on the map, on the compass, don't you? Because if it's white, the icon, it means that's the place you found, isn't it? And then if it's black, it means it's a place to be found. So I just like find it and then just walk into the woods, find the place, and then inevitably there'll be people trying to shoot me, and then it's like run away. But I found you, so I can come back to you anytime I want.
Yeah, I'll get you later.
I just wait for the such and such discovered thing to come up, and then I just turn around and like it. It's my strategy. Oh, but I'm really loving it. It's such a good game, so enjoyable.
Yeah.
Just like I'm just going to be losing my life in it. I've not enjoyed a game quite like this since the Mass Effect trilogy.
Wow, big praise.
Well, actually, no, because I really liked Oblivion as well. Oblivion's great.
Would you say it's a definite step up from Oblivion?
Well, I don't know, because I've actually completed the story of Oblivion. I've not done that in Skyrim. One thing about this, it makes more sense, obviously, in Skyrim, is that when you're talking to people, the rest of the world carries on as it was.
Yeah.
Whereas in Oblivion, it kind of like pauses time while you're talking to someone. Which I kind of liked, because the only problem I have in Skyrim is that I'm talking to someone, and then I see a new person walking in the background. I'm like, oh, I want to talk to you as well. And then I'm trying to keep, instead of really focusing on what the bloke's telling me, I was like, oh, I've got to go and find that person afterwards. So I'm just like following where he's going. Like,
I mean,
can you hurry up and talk? Because it's like, so I can run and get this person.
I mean, I think that's a really nice point for the game, that it's like a living, breathing world.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's been there before you became part of it, and it's going to be there long after you're gone. It just feels like it's a real place where people do business and live.
Yeah, because it does feel like every person has their own story. It means something. Other people in other towns or around the town know these people. They're like, oh, Frederick, he runs a store like around the shop or whatever. It's like everyone seems to know people. It just feels like a proper living, breathing world. I don't know even how you do it. But you just become one with it, don't you? You end up becoming part of this world, and then everybody learns that everyone knows you as the Dragonborn.
Yeah.
Legend. Oh, you're the one who can shout. That's the thing. I keep forgetting to do the shout.
Yeah.
It seems like something that I keep forgetting to do.
I
think if there's one thing that seems a bit overblown and whatnot, is all the shouts, and I keep forgetting what to do in combat and stuff. I forget that I've even gone.
Yeah. I mean, I always do the spells.
Yeah, I think it's because it's external to the spells, isn't it? So it doesn't take away from that meter. It's its own thing that you can do.
Yeah.
Like, I used to integrate my shouts in with my combat because I knew it wouldn't take any of my spell gauge or my stamina. So I would do it near the beginning of the game. But as you get into the game properly and you get more powerful spells and more powerful weapons, then I do think it kind of loses its importance fairly early on.
It is fun to do though if you go into a mountain once you've got like the full
shout somebody off at edge of it.
Raw, yeah.
Get that frost troll off the side of the mountain.
Yeah, you do feel very powerful when you do it though, because like this, if you're on top of a mountain, for example, the snow and everything dissipates around it as well, so you do feel like the force of it. It's great.
I've not gone up the is it the throat of the world? Is that what it's called?
Mm.
Is that the highest point?
Yeah, I've not gone up that yet. I think that's supposed to be my next story mission.
Yeah, I won't mention anything about it then. I don't want to ruin it for you.
Okay, I think that's the next one. But it's just because I've got so involved in all the side missions. It's just like but it's I have to say the menu because it puts all the quests on the menu. It becomes so overwhelming eventually, doesn't it? When you talk to so many people, it's like, oh, go and do this, go and do that. It's like, where do I begin? And then if
builds your objective lists up, it's just so much.
But you can choose which ones to show on the map, can't you? It's like if you put them all on the map, it's just like like things everywhere. It's like, blimey, where do I even
start? Just crying in a corner. What do I do?
Yeah. So I have to do this thing there now where it's just like I just pick one and go, right, I'm just going to focus entirely on that, not do anything else apart from that task. And inevitably, I just come across other people to talk to. It's just like, oh, you want to give me another quest here?
Yeah,
give me another quest. Why?
Always looking for the next thing.
Oh, mine another quest.
No, but I wish it wouldn't automatically put that quest on the map when you talk to them. I wish it just like put it on your quest list and then just disable it just until I want to do it. I just want just let me focus on the one task I want to do. It's like
I was just going to say, when you were leveling up in the game, what kind of direction did you go in for your character?
I did a lot.
Oh, like build and stuff.
Hmm.
I put a lot of skills on lockpicking. Although, because of the mods I've used, mine's kind of advanced quite quickly.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's just like
sneaky
just
boy.
give myself a load of perk points. Okay. Yeah. So he's a master lockpicker, my guy. Yeah. What else is it? Because there's a lot of things on the skill tree, isn't there? There's quite a lot.
Yeah, there's like alchemy, magic, crafting, and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I mean, not just magic, like in crafting, it's all broken down as well. So you've got like what?
One-handed, two-handed.
One-handed, two-handed, bow,
Destruction.
mace, probably. So yeah, destruction. Alteration, I think is one.
Yeah. Alteration. Restoration.
There's like restoration. Yeah, there's one for
I love
spawning
that.
dark
I love
stuff as
I love the
well.
healing one.
Oh, the healing one's like
I've
the
always
most
got a
important
healing
one for me.
Healing in one hand, lightsaber in the other.
Yeah.
That's
not
the way
lightning then.
Yeah.
Nah,
Palpatine style.
Well, yeah, I should have done that, shouldn't I? Yeah.
I mean, the thing with the leveling up as well, I think it's a much big improvement over how Oblivion did it. So like, I think that they were quite similar, where the more you use certain things, the more you level stuff up. But within Oblivion, to kind of get all those, I suppose, upgrades and level ups and stuff, you had to sleep somewhere for a certain amount to register the level up.
Yeah,
And I thought that was really annoying because you always kind of forgot to sleep.
Yeah, you got that little symbol at the bottom, didn't you? Which was like,
yeah,
I think it was like the sun or the moon or something like that.
Yeah, it told you like the
basically
time.
telling you, yeah, this is when you're supposed to go to sleep. And I spent ages just going, what the hell does this symbol mean? What's all that about?
Yeah, I'm just
also,
like,
I weren't sleeping, so it just stayed there.
But you never leveled up either. You can only level up once you slept, which I thought was really annoying.
You've got no reason to sleep. There was never any reason to sleep, really, was there? You never depleted anything, from what I could tell.
I think you could get like benefits from sleeping, but
or maybe I just played it really easy, so it just made it look like I didn't have anything.
Probably.
Maybe it did affect me. So that's the thing. Skyrim doesn't have a difficulty level, does it?
No, it's like a scaling level, isn't it? The higher level you are, the more things become harder, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the case, yeah.
I think on the 360 version, there was something in the settings where you could actually change the difficulty from memory, because I remember having to put it down from normal to easy. Well, it's me in it, but because I got stuck on a certain bit.
I would have done the same. So.
I would have probably done the same with Skyrim. It's not a difficult game, but you can come across enemies early on that make it difficult. I always seem to, like, every game that I start, I always seem to find a fight between a giant and a mammoth. They always seem to hate each other.
That's the real war.
Yeah.
I've never seen a fight between them.
Yeah,
I've always seen them getting along quite fine. I've not killed a giant yet. In fact, I've not killed a mammoth yet.
I have eventually killed a giant, but not without a couple of Team Rockets blasting off agains happening.
Because I needed, for one of the tasks, I needed a mammoth tusk.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. The mammoths just absolutely murdered me. I didn't even get close to killing it. It just destroyed me. So I just ended up having to go to the Thieves Guild and just nicking the mammoth tusk from them. So
that's one way of doing it.
Solve the problem. But, hey, it's called the Thieves Guild, so I proved my work, sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you guys got any favorite memes from Skyrim?
Well, depends how you define meme. But I do. I've not done it yet, but I do like the pot challenge. Is it called the pot challenge? I mean, you put the balls on people's heads.
Oh,
Well, did they change? Did they change that though? So where it actually you can't really do it anymore. But things get falling off. I thought. Unless maybe
I'm not sure. I remember when the game first came out.
But that definitely was a thing.
No, it was because it was a popular way of being able to like steal things in a room by just putting like a basket or like a bucket over someone's head. So then, they can't see. Now I can start stealing everything.
Yeah. Oh, that is one negative thing about the game. Is it's very easy to accidentally steal something.
Oh, when you like open a chest or something.
Yeah. So it's like you might have a bunch of things where you're allowed to pick them up, and then so you just mash the button. Oh, I'll pick all this up.
Yeah.
Inevitably, you end up picking something you nicked.
You shouldn't have.
And then all guards are saying, "What are you doing?" And then they just chase you out of the town.
Didn't mean to, and they're putting it down, trying to make peace, and they still come after you.
Was it in Skyrim or something? Or it might have been Oblivion. I can't remember. But I know there was a. It might have been. It's probably been patched out of it in these new ones. But I think in the original one, you could steal a bunch of stuff in a shop, and then if you
sell it back to them.
Well, if you immediately drop it on the floor, and then the guards come and nick you, and then obviously you do your time and all that business, they'll pay you bounty.
Oh yeah, in the prison and stuff.
But if you return to the shop thereafter, all the stuff that's on the floor is not considered theft. You can just pick all the stuff back up.
What?
Or something like that. I'm sure.
I can imagine that being a Skyrim thing.
I'm not sure you can do that now, but I would love to be able to do that.
So like when I say sort of stuff like memes, I suppose the old guards that you talked to and like to say that they were an adventurer like you once.
Yeah.
That became huge. I used to be an adventurer like you until I took an arrow to the knee. And then that just caught mainstream on everything about being an adventurer and having arrows in these.
I'd like to eat one of those sweet rolls that you see dot around the place. They look really tasty.
Funnily enough, apparently that's meant to be an Easter egg. Weirdly enough. Yeah. So outside of Easter egg in zombies for Call of Duty, Easter eggs are commonly known in video games as being references in games to other stuff in pop culture or other games. So I've actually got a list here from IGN of Easter eggs that apparently are in Skyrim. It's saying apparently the sweet roll apparently is a reference as well. So it says here that guards in various cities will sometimes say, "Let me guess, someone stole your sweet roll."
Yes,
apparently
I heard them say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently this is referring to the very first Elder Scrolls game, Arena, where it was asked as a class-determining question.
Okay.
Apparently also, in the second Elder Scrolls, Daggerfall, it also uses that same question as a class-determining question. Apparently same for Morrowind as well. And apparently references as well in Oblivion, where some NPCs may talk about a story of a stolen sweet roll. So apparently it's something in Bethesda games, because apparently there's something else.
It's an ongoing thing.
Right? Yeah, apparently there's something else in Fallout 3 as well, where you're given a sweet roll by someone, and then a bully demands the sweet roll or something. There's some sort of sweet roll reference that's going through Bethesda games.
Still like to travel.
Yeah. There's the Elder Scrolls cookbook, so it might be in there.
Yeah, it could be in there as well. There's all sorts of stuff. Like there's one. Apparently there's a Minecraft reference. Although this is argued that if you climb the highest mountain in Skyrim, which is the Throat of the World, you'll find a weapon there that's called a notched pickaxe. Obviously, the creator of Minecraft was called, I think his last name's Notch. Whether that is a reference or not, people argue that apparently a notched pickaxe has also been in previous Elder Scrolls games, so there's an argument there. But there's all sorts, like Pac-Man's referenced in Skyrim.
Is he?
Yeah, so in is it Markov in Endon's house, look for a shelf where there's a wedge of the cheese
I see where this is going.
wedges. They look like Pac-Man, don't they?
Yeah.
So it's arranged in a way where there's this cheese wedge.
Oh,
with
and then there's
some
a few full
garlics.
ones afterwards, or
No, there's some garlics in a row as well. They look like the pellets, and then there's some like ghost dust, which is meant to go off as a ghost.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
glow
cool.
dust. Sorry, right, that's fine. There's quite a few stuff. I'm trying to think. One that's actually quite funny if you've seen it. There's a Star Wars reference as well. You have to go to Bleak Coast Cave to clear out some Fostrals. Now, apparently, inside one of the rooms, there's a bunch of bones laying around on the floor. And if you look up in the ceiling, there's a torso sticking out. And apparently, directly below the torso, there's also a glass great sword, which is meant to reference Luke being stuck in the ceiling. Yeah.
Well, I've already got a Star Wars reference in mind.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, the
Lord of
lightsaber.
I remember there's one. I don't know if it's Skyrim or Oblivion. There's an Assassin's Creed reference somewhere where there's a dead body next to like a bale of hay or something, and apparently there's like something tall or like a tall building from the top.
Yeah.
That's a reference to the leap of faith. But there was all sorts and stuff. But
Oh, cool.
I found the arrow to the knee one was very overused in internet culture.
Yeah.
Actually,
As with most things.
as most things, yeah. There is actually one. I'm gonna see if I can find this video. There's one funny video of I think you're talking to a guard on like a balcony ledge thing. I don't know where it is in Skyrim. But you're talking to a guard, he's carrying his torch and whatnot. And as he finishes talking, this dragon just swoops in and like picks him up, and like the torch is just like doing the comedic, just stays there and then just suddenly drops.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'll have to find it because it was absolutely funny when I first saw it. I burst out in laughter. But so many just random stuff that happens.
It's just such a Skyrim thing to happen.
Isn't it? Yeah, this dragon comes in, swoops the guard that he was just talking to.
Oh, well, it just shows how like feature packed the world is and what a full place it is to explore. So yeah.
Yeah, there's never a dull moment, no matter where you go in Skyrim. You find all sorts as well. I see why it was Game of the Year when it came out. It was the biggest thing going, and I mean, fair play for all of the ambition that Bethesda had for that game. It was absolutely massive.
I'm really looking forward to the new one, whatever that will turn up.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're going on to a new engine for that. Although I guess
It desperately needs it. Yeah. I think it had its charm. I think when it came out, it was pretty good because I think Fallout 4 used it as well. But I think by Fallout 4, it was starting to show a bit of age at that point as well. Yeah, look forward to when it comes out.
Xbox exclusive.
Xbox exclusive. Well, could be. Could very well be. Which one's coming out first? Is it Starfield?
Starfield.
I think Starfield first, wasn't it? And then
Starfield first, yes.
And then the next Elder Scrolls, whenever
Well, that's not going to be for a long time as well. So
23 maybe 23. I'm putting my best on.
So Elder Scrolls 6, PS6. Actually, no, Xbox.
PS6.
What could it possibly be called?
Xbox Series Z.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go.
Series XX.
Yeah.
Could do.
Okay. So there you have it. That's Skyrim, eventually into the Video Game Hall of Fame. it was always going to happen. Let's be honest. So if you enjoyed listening to us, please consider tuning in next time. We release bi-weekly on Tuesdays. You can visit our website at jokingdolphin.com, where we post blogs and the Hall of Fame. Also, feel free to follow us on all social media platforms to continue the conversation. You can find Joking Dolphin on Facebook, as well as on Instagram and Twitter at Joking Dolphin. We're also on YouTube, where we post this very podcast as well as other videos, including Top of the Pod. So go check that out. I hope you've had a Merry Christmas. Have a very Happy New Year. And until next time, thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.